Here at the London Design Summit, Connor Carr, welcome to you.
Hello, thank you.
Tell me about Lexel.
Lexel, so we're a kind of 10 developers, one project manager, a few designers, and an MD. Started in 2010, so 5 years ago. And over the last 2 years, really, we started off as an e-commerce company, doing e-commerce websites, and over the last 2 years, have moved into mobile apps. And that's really taken off, and we're doing really well out of it. So yeah, it's kind of quite new, and apps are quite new and fresh and interesting. It's a bit of a kind of new world to us. But
yeah, it's also a very competitive market as well. So
absolutely.
how are you positioning yourself as a studio to sort of, I suppose, create a new expression for something that is competitive?
Yeah. So we kind of, it's very easy to say, but we do position ourselves as kind of a premium. Really top of the range market for applications and design. So we want apps that look and feel excellent. You kind of open and you can walk through and you just feel like this is an extension of the way you think this should work.
And the app that we're talking about specifically, though, is called MoveMe, which is an idea that I'm sure many people have thought of, but you guys are doing it.
Yep.
MoveMe, pretty obvious really in the title. Describe it for me.
I think a lot of apps start with that kind of thought of like, there must be an easier way of doing this. And so MoveMe is exactly that. It kind of takes out one of the elements that's very stressful in moving, which is how do I get my stuff from A to B?
You mean moving?
Well, moving,
yeah,
obviously. But I mean, without finding the house and getting, sorting deposit and stuff like that. So all that, we will get into an app one day. But this is, that kind of last moment thing of, damn, I haven't actually booked this.
So I need a removalist, I need boxes, I need packing tape. Yep. I literally need to get my stuff from here to there.
And there's no kind of there's no vetting, or there's no kind of organisation that does this exclusively. There needs to be, you kind of go on Gumtree, you find someone, you don't know if they're good or not, you don't know if you're kind of paying the right price or not. So what MoveMe does is you kind of go in, you've got a map, you say, where are these people around me that do this job? They're all vetted, it gives you an estimate, you contact these people, they come to your house and move you.
So they come and move you, basically. So you use the app, you log onto the app. You don't even log onto apps anymore, do you? You just sort of use them.
Well, this one you do, because you also need to create a profile. But yeah, it's kind of, you go in, enter your card details, and you're away. Obviously, all payment is taken on the app as well, so you kind of don't really have to think about it or think about getting cash out. Or it's all kind of done through the app. You just see a map, see kind of pins of where people are around you, click on them, gives you an estimate. Type in where you want to go as well, and A to B gives you an estimate to there, and then you find the person to take you.
But as you mentioned, there is Gumtree. There are other applications that do sort of deal with it, but not quite as successfully, I imagine. So to try and find access sort of the people that need this, what do you need to do in order to kind of to gain their attention, I suppose?
Well, I think that the people want to be able to do these things through mobile. I mean, one of the top question we get asked as an agency when people phone up is say, I want a Uber-style app that does this. So people want that ability to just be like, I'm standing still and I want people to come to me, and I want to be able to look on a map and go, that person, right, it's done, it's dealt with. Gumtree, you call someone up, you've got to deal with them, you've got to get a quote, you've got to then take out cash, you've then got to... This is just all done within a three-step process. That person, to A to B, done, paid, it will happen. I know it's taken care of now. So I guess it simplifies the entire thing into one kind of process.
And tell me about the communication process then to get the app actually going, to get it working. How did that work?
Well, I guess so. MoveMe's different from most apps we work on. It's kind of a pet project of ours. It's not someone that's come to us with it. It's come from Jason, our MD's experience of moving and getting quite annoyed with the people that moved him.
Haven't we all?
Exactly.
The torture of it all.
Absolutely. I could tell you many stories. So, but no, it's so it came from his kind of right. I want to solve this problem. There are difficulties in doing internal apps in that they're coming out of essentially as an agency you're in pocket. So it's very easy to kind of go, oh, we'll deal with that later. And actually, what you need to do is take kind of internal projects by the horns and be like, right, we're doing this and we're making time for this because I think this is going to pay off and we believe in this. So you're your own client, which has its benefits in that you don't have the difficulty of dealing with clients, but you
also have to motivate yourself.
Deal with yourself, which is sometimes you are much harsher on yourself than you are, because you want this to be perfect. It is your baby at the end of the day.
So how do you give yourself feedback that things aren't working?
Well, we're very critical. We're very critical of ourselves and very critical of each other. I guess is we as a team. I guess we kind of we come together and we all use it and we all test it and just go. It'd be great if we did this. It'd be great if we did that. And some of these things we all agree with. Some of the things we don't agree with. Some of the things someone there is a decision maker. The project manager, the designer, or the MD, depending on the stage. But ultimately, I think it's a collaborative effort of it'd be nice if we added this in, you add that in, and kind of, at some point you've got to draw a line and say, well, this is the end product.
But you need to work within the studio in a different manner because it is an application that's come from in-house, if that makes sense, than working with a separate or an outside client or something like that. So there is a kind of an element of, this is about design courage, this session, so you really have to think quite deeply about how you operate your business.
Yep.
And so what is it that you are doing in order to enable that process?
I think you treat it as any other project. Once you decide that you're going to do something like this, you do have to say, right, so we are our own client, and it would be very easy to sit here and say, we'll put that off or we won't do it. But no, I think in the same way you deal with any project, you just allocate resource, you push on, you book time out, you have to deal with the fact that, you are making time for yourselves, which means that you will lose time for clients. But you have to believe in the project enough and believe in what you're doing enough to just push forward with it, because it will pay off in the end. And
success, how do you measure it?
Well, I guess you measure it in terms of, well, as any app is.
People are moving house everywhere.
Yeah, well, using this app, I guess it's number of users, and a number of exchange, and because it's payment that's taken over, I guess the number of transactions taken on it. But I think that you can't really start making an app and in the first kind of few years have a business plan of like, I want to make money. An app is all about, or developing apps is all about getting users. Once you have the users, then you start finding ways to monetize. But I think at the moment we just have an idea that we want everyone to use, and we want Lexel's name on that.
And so you have to stay motivated, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you moved using MoveMe?
I haven't. No, it's in internal at the moment. So we're currently talking to drivers who would use it in the Brighton area. But I haven't yet. I'm about to move though, so I will definitely try and get it going. I'll be the guinea pig.
Which leads me just to one final question. You've got to deal with people like us who want to move house. Mm-hmm. How do you communicate with the drivers? What's in it for them, really?
Well, I guess it's the same thing as Uber, is that they have a platform from which they can. They know that they'll have a customer base, and they know that they know the job they're getting. With Gumtree, again, talking to drivers, a lot of people say, I've got a cupboard and maybe a bed, and then they turn up and it's an entire house worth, and they go, well, actually, this quite changes. So I guess it kind of puts a standardise on these jobs, and a guy with a van doesn't have to sit there looking at Gumtree and waiting for someone to call him. He knows that there's a user base there that he will be used from.
Sounds good. MoveMe. I feel very moved by this whole process. It's wonderful. Connor Carr, thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.